Welcome back to Musical Connections. I'm Zach Snow, and joining me right now, if you're familiar with events like the Best Kind BBQ and the JibFest Weekender, you may be familiar with this person. He is the founder and owner of Brent Mac Events, who puts off these events during the summer. July 12th is when the next Best Kind BBQ will take place, and JibFest Weekender takes place every February at Marble Mountain. He is the mastermind behind those events. He is the owner and founder of Brent Mac Events. Brent McNamara, how you doing, brother?
I'm doing good, Zach. Thanks for having me. I always wanted to be on this pod.
And thank you so much. I really appreciate that, man. I've done about 130 some odd episodes here, and I want to get you on and Carter on for a long time. Carter, we're going to get to that probably in February when the JibFest comes on, but I'm glad to have you on all the same.
Likewise, pleasure to be here.
And congratulations on all your success with the Brent Mac Events brand you got going on. You got the Best Kind BBQ, which is coming up July 12th. You also got JibFest Weekender, which comes up every February, which you have at Marble Mountain. And seeing a lot of the social media posts that JibFest Weekender puts out, it is a time out there, especially one of the biggest winter festivals in Atlantic Canada, really.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, JibFest has definitely become a staple. We're pushing 15 years right now, which is hard to believe.
You're getting old.
You're getting old. I was trying to go a little less on the ego, but yeah, getting old for sure, as someone who's gray hairs might attest to. But yeah, no, it's really a staple. It's, you know, my partner Carter and I, we just love snowboarding ourselves. We love music. We love the comedy. So we just kind of make a full weekend to come together, and it's a lot of fun, I got to say. So.
Yeah, for sure. Now, I of course know who you are. I've seen you like on TV, and I've also like caught you on social media with Brent Mac Events, and also with the JibFest and Best Kind BBQ. Who is Brent McNamara in a nutshell? Like, who's the person Brent McNamara?
I guess I was the guy who just loved music and events, but didn't have the musical talent myself to be on stage. So I kind of, from an early age, started gravitating towards my friends who are musically inclined and would just sort of help them arrange the back end side of things. I guess I always had sort of this business mindset. So I would sort of just, you know, talk to the venues, arrange the shows, do these sort of things. And a lot of my close friends have kind of had very different musical tastes, like some indie folk bands, some kind of like hard style DJs. So I've kind of like grew up in a lot of different styles of music, which allowed me to kind of open my ears and eyes to a lot of different things. So yeah, I kind of just roll with the punches, and Newfoundland being a small place, you end up doing a lot of different things. So, you know, here we are, and I guess, you know, almost 15 years later, just with the festivals.
And you went to MUN to do a Bachelor of Business Administration, and now you did a business degree at MUN. I don't know what the official degree is. So what is that degree you
so I did the commerce program. So I got a commerce degree. Yeah. So it's a I think they're actually changing up some of the wording on it right now. But essentially, it's a business degree with work terms. So for my third and final work term, I actually took it on myself and did, I guess, an entrepreneurial work term, which at the time, you know, we're talking 10 plus years ago now, wasn't really that common. But I had heard some people that did it, and we basically used that opportunity, some friends and I, to start a music festival. So that was, like, again, instead of turning down, I had some job opportunities, but instead of turning down the kind of guaranteed 9 to 5, we sort of rolled the dice and took on this music festival ourselves. So we started a Random Sound Music Festival in Clarenville at White Hill Ski Resort.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was a 3-year project that, like, oh, man, we learned so much from. I mean, we had Classified, Dragonette, Dubs, ASAP Ferg, Winter Sleep.
That's crazy.
Ghostface Killer. Like, I mean, it was a crazy little blip in time. Yeah, I think 2013 to 2015, something like that. So learned a lot of expensive lessons, but we learned a lot.
No, absolutely. Like Classified, Dragonette, ASAP Ferg, like those were all the big acts at the time. I mean, Classified's still going strong today.
Absolutely.
He just won like 3 or 4 ECMAs the past East Coast Music Awards. I mean, I got one myself there too.
You go. Absolutely, congrats.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
And you were nominated for an ECMA for the JibFest Weekender in 21, I believe it was.
That would have been our 10-year anniversary. So we did the outdoor event, which is doing an outdoor show in the winter. In Corner Brook, you know, it was a lot of different levels of complexity to it, but it was a great event. You know, I think we were pushing 1,500 people outdoors, everyone wearing snowsuits, and we had Sammy Adams came down, a ski tour, a DJ group from BC. So it was a lot of fun. It was a really cool experience to do that. Absolutely.
So and out of that Random Sound Festival you did from 2013 to 15, you've started your own production and booking company called Brent Mac Events.
Yep.
So what drove you into event production and music management in that case?
I guess long story short, I mean, I was, again, probably 2011, 2010 era. I was, friends and I left kind of home for the first time to go to a music festival, kind of the first time we're all 19, 20. We went to Osheaga in Montreal, and that just blew my mind. Because there's one thing at the time in Newfoundland, we had a couple festivals, but, you know, they're really like series of concerts. 2 or 3 bands will play a night, and it's great. You'd go to that, we'd love it. But this was just a different style of an event where you'd go at noon and you'd see dozens of acts on dozens of stages. And I just, like, my wheels were just spinning from day one. I saw this guy, Shad, who I was a big fan of at the time. He had just won a Juno. And I remember seeing it front row and just thinking, like, this would be so good in Newfoundland. This would be so good. So I came home and immediately hit up a few friends that were kind of older than me that were in the industry. And they didn't think it'd work. They're like, I don't think it'll work here. I don't think it'll work. So eventually I said, okay, well, I think it will. And I just went for it. So that's how I kind of got to know Tony Murray and all the folks at the Rock House. And they helped me along as well. And we booked them. We did a show at the Rock House. And it was... From there, things kind of just snowballed. So it started just as a fan. I'm just a fan of the music and wanted to bring those kind of quality shows here.
Yeah, for sure. And you kind of bring like, kind of like that rave type of like hip hop show kind of environment to St. John's, where a lot of our shows are pretty much, bringing heavy rock acts. I mean, we just had ZZ Top at the Iceberg Alley Performance Tent. Yeah. We had Glass Tiger and Gowan there. Yeah. And down at Webster was down here too. Yeah. Plus you have the big trad shows with Shannon Knock. You have Rum Ragged, the Irish Descendants, country shows with, of course, Blake Shelton's coming to Churchill Park.
Incredible.
Bringing like hip hop and like rave kind of shows is kind of like, uncommon here in Newfoundland and Labrador. And like you started Best Kind BBQ. I was looking at your Facebook page doing some research for this interview, and you started it in your backyard in 2017?
Yeah. So again, basically a couple years had passed since Random Sound, and we learned a lot. We kind of honestly bit off too much we could chew starting off. So a couple years had passed, a couple more years of experience, just working hard to pay back some debt. But I still I still had this itch for a music festival in the summer because JibFest was going strong at that point, but I really wanted to do something in the summer. So I kind of just had some new partners, we kind of restructured internally, and we started on a smaller scale. I was trying hard to get some venues around town in 2017. A little bit too late. I realized later in life you need months ahead to plan for these things. So we couldn't really find a venue in time. I just bought a house, and a friend of ours, Leslie Rogers, Iceberg Quest, he has family ties there. So we kind of worked together and said, hey, why not throw us a little house party boat tour? And then my friends at the time had a restaurant at Fifth Ticket with Dave Primer. Shout out to him. So we had 99 people come to the backyard because that's the capacity for the boat. We had a barbecue. We had some cornhole in the backyard. Some DJs were playing, some kegs. It was just awesome. And again, it was an afternoon thing. Then come 5 o'clock, the bus picked us up, went down for a boat tour. So that's when the first name Best Kind BBQ came in 2017. And then we sort of, again, snowballed from there.
Yeah, and some of the locations you've been with the Best Kind BBQ, you started at the top of City Hall in St. John's, and you eventually settled on your permanent location at St. David's Park in Mount Pearl. You also spent 1 year at Murray's Beach Bar when COVID-19 was really the peak of things.
Yep.
But your permanent home now is St. David's Park in Mount Pearl. So how did you end up with St. David's Park as your permanent home for Best Kind?
Yeah, so I mean, again, just kind of some trial and errors. Like the roof was incredible, 2018 roof of City Hall, but as you can imagine, being that location, a lot of logistical issues. And we just we also would have been capped there with our space. We were kind of like basically capped that first year. It was close to sold out, so it would kind of limit future growth. And yeah, I mean, I kind of just sent an email to Mount Pearl. I was driving by one day. I said, this place looks great. I sent an email to the team, and within minutes they got back to me and said, we've heard amazing things about the event. We'd love to bring this in. Mount Pearl is also, like, being a smaller community themselves. They see us being a smaller production company and say, let's work together, And they've been incredible to work with. So it's just easy. Like, there's no red tape. It's just, what do you want to do? How can we help? So it's a very cool space, very convenient. You're off the highway there, Camelot Road's around the corner. CBS, Paradise, like, it's kind of central for a lot of things. Mm-hmm. So it's and again, a lot of infrastructure around it. There's tennis club and the Legion, which we rent and use. So the infrastructure and support is just there. So it's kind of already set up for these type of events.
Oh, for sure. Now, you've been running the JibFest Weekender too, which happens around February time at Marble Mountain. Mm-hmm. And I do want to go out there myself, probably next year, definitely, if all the stars align and stuff, and probably do some more interviews out there with some of the DJs.
We'd love to have you.
I really appreciate that. Thank you. Now, of course, you've been running that for, I would say, close to about over a decade now. So how did that start?
So yeah, like I said, we're pushing 15 years on that now, which is wild. But so my partner Carter Snow, he actually started it. He was probably 20 himself, and as a DJ, he was just a DJ and a snowboarder, and he wanted places to snowboard and DJ. So he kind of just cold called Marble Mountain and said, "What do you think about if I do this?" And they said, "Sure." So he did it for kind of a year or two with some other people. Then same thing, there's some changes happening internally. He approached me in year 3, wanted to bring me on because he saw like Shad and the events like that. So he brought me on year 3, and we've been been homies ever since.
So what have been some of your favorite moments from JibFest Weekender? Because you recently just had one back in February. Do you have any moments that stick out in your mind of some of your favorite moments working with Carter?
Absolutely. I mean, we've had just how things have kind of progressed over the years. Like Carter has been really every year kind of leveling up his production. Like we did this very cool kind of 360 style stage this year, which it's just so much, because years ago it would be very much like, here's a DJ or here's a band, everyone's looking away, but now everyone's looking up at them. But now it's gotten so much more interactive and people are kind of all on the same floor. It's so close. Like it's just been a really fun event. And again, that lodge, like it has a capacity. It's been selling out the last few years. Like the environment in that lodge is just second to none.
Oh yeah, so, I was there in 2022. Bishop's Tavern is just phenomenal space. Yeah. Now, of course, let's talk about this year's Best Kind BBQ. It's July 12th at St. David's Park. Starts at 2 p.m. and runs until about midnight. Yep. And some of the acts you've got here are incredible. I mean, I'm wearing one of his shirts right now. You just booked Nick Girl and the Reckless Hearts. Hot off the opening for ZZ Top.
Absolutely.
And also releasing Under the Influence back in May.
Yep.
I got to be at their listening party, and what a crowd that was.
Yep.
You also have Podem, which I featured on this podcast countless times. Mm-hmm. And Watts, who's recently put out a song with Ronnie Slade for the 2025 Canada Games.
Absolutely.
DJ Summer. Harold Butler, who was on Canada's Got Talent, the cabbie who plays the spoons. Rich Tanner, you've had on many times. You've also had Carnival, which is making his festival debut. Quake Matthews, a rapper from Halifax, Nova Scotia. And DJ Four Corners, the official Toronto Raptors DJ. So, I've talked about all the acts. There's probably some more to come. How excited are you for this upcoming Best Kind BBQ and to have the official Raptors DJ here?
You've done your homework. Thank you. Thank you. It's like, I guess in a nutshell, kind of our like internal motto with the barbecue has always been, it's fun first. We don't have a board of directors. There's no big company. It's just a few friends. And we said, we want to do something, we do it. Like, it's just, we're lean and nimble, we move quick. So these are artists that we think this would be fun. Like there's like, while yes, we do focus on a lot of kind of dance music and things like that, it's as you just described, everyone you mentioned, it's a very broad scope of music. And again, I think that goes back to my going to Osheaga, going to Coachella, seeing other music festivals in other places and said, like, we don't need to be put in a box and said, this is this style. If it doesn't fit this style, it's not getting booked. Like, Harold Butler plays with spoons and it's fun. Come play on stage. Like, that was his first time he ever played live last year. And there was hundreds of people up front. Because again, we have a big space and we utilize it. We have a lot of other things going on. There's tattoo artists, there's food vendors, there's lots of games. So people are kind of, it's not like you're up front and you're holding the rail and it's very tight. There's space to relax and grab a blanket, go on the grass. Like, it's a very chill festival. But as soon as Harold Butler went on last year, hundreds of people flocked up front and turned to a big dance party. It's
crazy.
Just like, people are just laughing, we're smiling. We have security guards and bartenders that'll write us months in advance, hey, I love working your event, I want to come back and work, because everyone involved is a part of the event. It's that lifestyle, and it's I can't explain it. It's so much fun.
So I talked about JibFest Weekender, that's your winter festival, and then summer festival is at St. David's with Best Kind BBQ. Are those the closest thing we have to like raves and like dance festivals here in Newfoundland and Labrador?
Yeah, I mean, there's a bunch of people doing good things. I mean, like the Young guys, Shauna with Selenium and these events. I mean, there's a lot of great kind of more underground dance scenes and stuff. But yeah, I mean, I guess, again, we're kind of bridging the gap of sort of underground, mainstream. And like, I don't even put a label on it. It's just fun. It's just like we book, again, a lot of dance music, but it could be hip hop, it could be rock and roll. Like, we book everything that's just going to get people dancing and having a good time. So that's what we're all about. Yeah,
and you said when you went to Osheaga, you were inspired to start Best Kind BBQ and then jump on with Carter to help run JibFest Weekender. Are you hoping to like turn it to some sort of like a Osheaga or Lollapalooza type situation?
It's funny. I just finished watching the Lollapalooza documentary, the 3-part series last night. And that was really cool how that, over, 30, 40 years just sort of progressed and who they booked, the styles change and, music changes, right? So, and audiences change and what they want changes. So like, again, I would love to run a multi-stage, multi-day event someday, but I also too realize like dealing in Newfoundland, like we have population, like there's only trying to maintain expectations, Again, going back to the mistakes I made with Random Sound, we said this is going to be greatest things in sliced bread, but we just didn't kind of realize the population issues we'd have, right? And the first time festival, you're trying to explain it. Like I read a stat that Osheaga was almost 6 years before they broke even. Like it's just, these are so expensive, big endeavors in big markets, let alone we have all the same costs, but we're just pulling from smaller people, smaller audience. So you do need to be somewhat realistic, but you also kind of got to dream big, otherwise things won't happen. So
for sure. So let's talk about some of those challenges you face as a event promoter and concert promoter. What are some of those challenges that you face when it comes to booking these acts? Finding these spots to have these festivals. But of course, you settled at home with Best Kind BBQ at St. David's Park, and then JibFest Weekenders at Marble Mountain.
Yeah.
What are your challenges you find as a concert and event promoter?
Yeah. I think the behind the scenes costs that people might not necessarily realize. I got a quote this morning that my insurance is going to triple for no reason, just that the amount of insurance companies are just not there. My broker's like, well, we just don't have many options to pull from. It is what it is. Fencing, porta potties, insurance, generators, all these things rising. There's tens and tens of thousands of dollars before an artist even gets booked to play a show. Yes. And we're on, again, a much smaller scale. You look at Churchill Park and Iceberg Alley, their costs are ballooned, right? So it takes a lot. You got to kind of really watch the pennies, but at the end of the day, there's certain things you just need, and you can't cut corners because there's a lot of safety components. So it's a lot of behind the scene things that people probably don't realize. So, that's probably one of the harder challenges.
Oh, for sure. And especially, I actually served on the board of directors for the Folk Festival, and I got a behind the scenes look of how a festival really gets booked.
Absolutely.
How much you need to, get fencing and get security guards for that night in particular, too. Getting a liquor license for the park. And getting all the acts there and making sure they have the right rates and make sure they're compensated and they're paid for, but also looking at your bottom line.
Absolutely.
And they just put out a post by the day that we're recording this. The 49th Festival is looking to be their last. So watching their bottom line, yes, absolutely, it is very sad. Yeah. But it goes to show that with all the cost of living that's rising, and especially with the way life is and society is heading, it's harder than ever to put off a festival. But it seems like you guys have really gotten, for lack of a better term, lack for French, your shit together.
Yeah. And again, I think we made all the mistakes over the years. Like I said, back to random sound days, we lost a lot of money, time, and with the barbecue, I was like, okay, let's start small, 99 people in my house, and let's try and build it up over the years. I'm not trying to take too many quick steps at once because I just know how tough it is. So I want to be here for the long haul, and sometimes moving too quick, too fast, can shoot yourself in the foot down the road. So
exactly.
Yeah, but
for sure. Now, of course, how excited are you to have all these acts here, and who are you most excited to see when Best Kind BBQ comes around July 12th?
From the 2 o'clock to 11, I'm going to be front row. I can't wait. And also with this event too, a lot of these artists, they're coming. Every artist is coming Friday and leaving Monday. They're coming for the whole weekend. That's one that I try and include with people. I'll give some extra hotel rooms so they can come, enjoy Newfoundland, get them screeched in, and take them around town, show them things, really make it a destination. Because a lot of these people, they wouldn't probably necessarily come here otherwise, So it's hard. It's when people leave, I really want them to be an ambassador of the province moving forward, and a lot of them are. So and word's getting around. Managers talk, artists talk. Oh, I played the barbecue last year. I played Churchill Park. I played Folk Fest. I played Iceberg Alley. You gotta come. It's a small scene out there for artists, and the word people leave here after they play a show are definitely an ambassador of the province.
Mm-hmm. So for people who haven't been to a Best Kind BBQ yet, what can they expect when it comes around this coming week?
Absolutely. So it's 9 hours of music. And that's the other thing, too. Again, I might have mentioned this earlier, but I looked at our data from last year. 90% of the people were at the event by 5 o'clock. And again, a lot of festivals don't start till 6 or 7. So it's very much about come for the day, take in everything. So on top of all the artists, on top of the 9 hours of music, we have Abe's Tattoo doing some tattooing. Anderson's is coming set up. Liquor Sauce will be there. Wood Pizza NL. Bunch of games throughout. We have face painting. Twist of Magic hair braiding will be there. It's all kinds of stuff. A few other surprises too, which I can't get into right now. But it's a full day of events, right? Music being the main part of it, but lots of other things as well.
Yeah, you're gonna have to come down there in order for people to find out what those prizes are.
Absolutely.
Now, how can people get their tickets?
BestKindBBQ.com, Tickettide.ca. So we have a ticketing company as well. We work with Tixer, so we've been doing tickets across the island now for about a year, working with a lot of other festivals as well. So that's been a cool side of the event business we've been dabbling into. So Tickettide.ca, BestKindBBQ.com. Again, BestKindBBQ, and on any social media, they'll find us. So.
For sure. Now, for people who want to find out more about Brent Mac and what you're up to, BrentMacEvents.com, I think, is your website, and you're on social media as well.
Absolutely, yeah. We just finally got the website redone this year, so shout out to John Walsh, my buddy who put that together for us. So, yeah, website's great, so you can check us out there, and anywhere on social media, get in touch, absolutely.
And you got a newsletter as well.
We do, yep. So we try and do roughly a monthly newsletter, kind of inform people, give them some merch drops, some insider tickets, some discount codes, whatever. So we're not like Blue Notes. We're not going to text you every day when our jeans are on sale, but we'll get there, once a month.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. And I recently just found this out from Dan George, who's actually going to be playing with the Reckless Hearts at Best Kind BBQ. You own OG chimneys too, don't you?
Yeah, so we have a couple ice cream trucks here. We have OG chimney cones, my business partner and I, on Harbor Drive. So this is our 5th year actually. So we have a trailer on Harbor Drive, and then we have a catering truck as well. So if you got any events or you want to be a cool boss and have us show up for your staff, let us know. We'd love to cater as well.
Some of the best cones in St. John's.
I didn't pay him to say that.
Listen, he paid me a lot.
Yeah.
Nothing. Well, Brent, this has been an absolute pleasure to have you on the podcast, and all the best to you and the rest of the team with Best Kind BBQ. And I'm looking forward to getting you or Carter on again to talk about JibFest when that comes around in February. So, Brent, thanks for doing this, brother.
Anytime, buddy. Pleasure.